This is Coogan Cassius for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We are at the Time for Diamonds. Oh, look, there happens to be a bag behind you. Would you look at that? Headquarters here in London. Delighted to be joined by 5-0 professional fighter Shannon Courtenay. All right, mate?
All right. How are you?
How are you? Very well, thank you. Well, you must be over the moon because obviously you finally have a confirmed fight date in the lovely place of Doncaster at the Doncaster Dome on the undercard of Terry Harper and Natasha Jonas.
Yeah, do you know what? We've been waiting for fight date for a while, as you're aware. And it actually got confirmed yesterday morning. I got a message saying of my next two fight dates, actually. And then I'm driving to training, and obviously if you're driving, you're not looking at your phone. Stopped, pulled over like at the gym, looked at my phone went mental, and they'd already announced it. There's a poster out, and I was like, oh, okay, so it is official. But yeah, they've given me my next two fight dates, but all I'm focused on obviously is the Doncaster show. It's nice, I'm looking forward to it, because it's a big bill about women, basically. It's the first time there's been two British women fighting for world title, and yeah, I'm really excited to be part of it.
I was looking at the card and I was thinking it's got Chantel Cameron, obviously Natasha Jonas, Terry Harper, Shannon Courtenay, so they're obviously it's heavily weighted in the female division, if you like, which is good, and it's a good card for you to be on, like you just said, for that reason alone.
No, you've never seen a basically dominant woman card before, so this is the first time they're doing it. I think it's a big move from Matchroom. It's a clever move because women's boxing is only getting bigger, and yeah, I'm actually really, really happy and really excited to be part of it, to be honest.
So, what's the pecking order? Obviously, we got. We'll just list the pecking order. Go on. Of interest, not of what's at stake, because obviously they're fighting for a world title, but yeah, of interest. What do you believe the pecking order out of all the women to be?
I'd probably say I'm probably last on the pecking order out of women, because Chantel's on the cusp of a world title. She might be fighting for a world title. We don't know yet, because at her weight, the WBC is vacant, I believe. Obviously, Terry Harper's going to be headlining, and I'm not fighting for a world title or for a title. So why should I be above them? But then I'm a Sky Matchroom fighter. But listen, it's not about pecking orders, Coogan. Stop trying to be.
Stay humble, eh?
Stop trying to be a shit stir, all right? Trying to cause a bit of like bitchness between the women, okay? We are standing together. It's a good night. I spoke to Terry about it the other day. We're both excited to be on the same card as each other. I think that's a really good fight between her and Natasha Jonas. No, I think it's going to be a good night.
Because Natasha Jonas, obviously, before she suffered that loss to Vivian Aubignoff, she was being touted as a potential opponent for Katie Taylor as well. But obviously that kind of set her back. But now she's got a shot again, Natasha Jonas even, to get back in the fold.
Truth have it, I think Terry beats her. Tasha is a southpaw, and she struggled against, obviously, Vivian Aubignoff, or however you say it, lost the fight, and Vivian was quite raw coming forward and was catching her with some big right hands. I don't think Terry Harper's the biggest hitter in the division, but the one thing she has got is her precision. She's very accurate, and her straight shots are beautiful, and her straight 1-2, especially her backhand, always catches and has a big effect. I can just see Tasha Jonas walking onto that big right hand quite a lot, especially because she is a southpaw. It's the go-to shot, isn't it, when you're fighting a southpaw and you're unorthodox, it's your right hand. So I think straight down the pipe, Terry Harper could potentially stop Tasha Jonas.
Big call. And who are you going to be fighting? Do we have any names yet? Or it's far too early for that, isn't it?
Far too early. No names for me to say.
Just get him in the ring and I'll knock him out, yeah?
Because yeah, I always speak like that, don't I? Now listen, I don't know. You know more than anyone. I don't really ask about opponents until closer to the fight. I leave it down to my team. I trust them. I just get on with the punching people in the faces bit.
Fair enough. What is the gym like now that the big juggernaut has departed?
I miss him. Me and Joe were close. We had a really good friendship. He made me laugh so much. Don't get me wrong, I get in a lot less trouble now he's not there, because he was constantly talking and getting me in trouble, making me laugh. But I noticed a little bit of a gap where he's not there, because that was my person I used to have like a good laugh with and a joke with. So yeah, I do miss him. But he seems happy. I spoke to him the other day. He seems happy. He's enjoying Vegas. The sunshine's doing him some good, and I really hope that training's going well. He says it is, so I pray that it is, because I'd love to see him win that fight, because I don't think there's a nicer person out there than Joe, and he deserves the big shots, and he deserves to get in that mix, because he's getting on a bit now as well, isn't he? In boxing terms, age-wise, he is. So yeah, I'd love to see him beat Dubois, but it's a tough fight.
April the 11th, live on BT Sport. That great fight. Sticking with the heavyweight theme, obviously, I've asked everyone and their grandmother and their dog about Wilder and Fury and the £40 costume and the flapping gloves saga and all this. Can you give us kind of a reflection on everything? What's your thoughts?
The costume. Let's be serious. He's done an interview last year saying he wears a £40 weighted vest when he's in training. So a 2-minute ring walk with that bobble thing on his head is not going to make him much of a difference, is it? But just, I think, listen, I like Deontay Wilder. He's a absolute powerhouse, but I think maybe it's a little bit, he's not ready to admit that he got beat by the better man. And maybe that's puncher's arrogance, because let's be honest, he's a puncher. And he's not technically the best boxer in the world, but look at him against Ortiz. He lost every round and he just pulls that shot out of nowhere. But I think after round 2, you knew that shot against Tyson Fury wasn't going to come. Whatever he was going to throw at Tyson Fury had the answers for. And I think it was an impeccable performance. And I think next time he does an even better job on him, to be honest, because he's only going to get better working with Andy Lee and Sugar Hill, because they've done a fantastic job with him. And I like this aggressive, come forward, sitting on his shots Tyson Fury. You know, before he's on the back foot a lot, movement, and his shots weren't planted. This time he is planting his feet, and you can see a massive difference in his power. People always say he's got feather punches, feather fists, but you can dig. And now he's got bringing his back foot in a little bit more. He's got that Kronk mentality. It works really well with him. But you can't rule out and forget the amazing work Ben Davison done with him, because that comes into play as well with the movement and the mental side of the game as well. So I think everyone that's been put into Tyson's life, that performance showed every element of it. So I think the rematch would be an even easier win for him.
Just going back to Costume Gate, yeah. What if, like the £40 costume thing, yeah? Right. What if, yeah? I know people are going, oh, you know, what a ridiculous excuse and all this. But what if that was the actual truth, yeah? Let's just take it from Wilder's perspective, yeah? What if he was actually fine and having a £40 costume from that moment to walk into the ring did actually fuck his legs up? Like, what if that was the case? I know you wouldn't probably come out and say it, but what if that was the actual case, that what he's saying is actually what it was?
I don't even know how to answer that question, because it's not the case.
Yeah, but what if it was the case?
He always wears an extravagant costume and them things on his face and them crowns and stuff. Be smart, get carried to the ring like Tyson Fury, then you ain't got to worry about your legs, have you?
Well, fair enough. But it's just, like I said to you, it was a bit of a bizarre reason. But I'm just thinking to myself, to come out with it, he must believe that was the case. Surely he's not just going to come out of that for no reason. Yeah,
but we've heard many horrendous excuses over the years.
What's the worst? Give me your top 3.
The costume. Right. The costume is the worst. I'm not being funny. I've never had nothing like it in my life. So I'm not going to sit here and dig out other people that have achieved a hell of a lot more than I ever have in boxing and say, well, but you lost that world title fight because of this. Listen, everyone's got their own excuses, and some are legit, some are not. But the costume's not legit. I'm sorry. So hopefully, maybe if he wants to wear that costume again because he likes it, then maybe he gets carried to the ring somewhere. Or remember that guy that flew into the ring? Remember that? Maybe you can do that. That'd be an entrance.
No, it'd be interesting to see what his attire is, given that was kind of the reason.
Next time out, he's learned from his lesson, and he just wears literally just like a silk robe like Muhammad Ali used to do. Really light, so then there's no excuses. And then after that, what's he going to come out with when Tyson Fury does the same thing to him?
We shall have to see. But obviously, sticking kind of on the heavyweight scene, you're not obviously nowhere near a heavyweight, but like talking to you about it, Joshua Pulev was announced, Dillian Whyte, Povetkin have been announced. Do you like them fights?
I prefer Dillian Whyte, Povetkin. I think that's, as they've been said, maximum violence. I think that's a great fight. Battle of the left hooks. I think Dillian beats him, definitely. I think Dillian could potentially knock Povetkin out. We've seen that he didn't look fantastic against Michael Hunter in Saudi, but Dillian didn't have the best performance in Saudi either. I think it's a great fight, but I think you've got to give it to Dillian White. He could just sit there, be patient, and wait for his time to fight for the WBC. But instead, he keeps going into these massive fights, earning more respect of people, putting on bigger performances, beating credible opponents that people are scared to fight because they are dangerous, and he's just winning. And that's what it takes to get up in levels to when you do get to world title levels. He's got so much valuable experience in the bank going forward now, from the rounds he's done with the likes of people like fighting David Sawyer twice, or against who's that guy that they're the O2 in July.
Oscar Rivas.
That's a fantastic fight, an explosive fighter. So if he comes up against someone explosive like, imagine Wilder or Joshua, because they're both explosive, then he's got that experience taken forward. So he's a very smart person, Dillian White, and he's making a shitload of money whilst he's at it. Fair play to him.
Absolutely fair play to him. So just kind of coming back to you, always kind of notice when there's a little bit of a gap between your fights and you're getting kind of a bit anxious over when's my fight date, but also your fans are as well, because they're like jumping on social media, like tagging in Eddie Hearn. I mean, I did it the other day as well, tagged in Eddie Hearn. And then obviously I think Eddie Hearn revealed in an IFL TV interview that you'll be fighting, kind of your dates will be given to back to back. So yeah, it's good to have that support.
No, it's amazing to have that support, and it's not a case of me being like every time I've got a few weeks out, Eddie, when am I fighting? It's the case of I was told March 28th at the night of the darts. Remember, I think maybe Eddie had a few two Bevvies that night. I had as well, and he was like, "Yeah, she's fighting that night." Da, da, da. And then we was actually told the 4th of April in Newcastle. So I'm laughing because I say Newcastle. I don't know why, and Danny always makes me laugh, and because he goes, "It's Newcastle." Am I calling you Gary or Danny's there? I don't know.
People don't know what the hell you're talking about, so you might as well just explain who Danny is.
PR Gary from Time for Diamonds.
Right, okay.
But his real name's Danny, but I call him PR Gary. Don't ask. So then we was told that date. And then, obviously, we were like, well, what's going on? Then we were told Bournemouth, which was the 17th of April. Then that was confirmed. Right, she's fighting in Bournemouth. Okay, great. Then I'm on the treadmill doing my sprints, and I'm watching IFL like I normally do. And I've not heard nothing from my team. Then Eddie goes, "Yeah, no, we're cancelling the Bournemouth show." And you're like, "Oh, shall I leave the gym? Shall I? Like, what's going on?" So, but then we found out I've got two dates. Got Doncaster, and the next show is a very big, exciting show I'm going to be on. So, I don't get. If I hate being in limbo. You know me, and I'm not afraid to admit it gives me severe anxiety, because I'm like, am I fighting? Am I not? Should I be in the gym? If I'm in the gym for too much and I'm going to hit my peak too soon and then I'm not fighting, I don't want to ruin my body and my mentality neither. And I'm in a really, really good place at the moment, so things are good. But my fans, they do like to stick it to Eddie a little bit. Some take it a little bit too far. Some threw like proper insults at him the other week, and I was like,
"What were they saying? Go on, you can say it."
I don't know, because you'll use a clickbait. You'll do the headline.
Clickbait the title anyway, so you might as well just tell us what they were saying to him.
I can't remember. I literally can't remember.
I'm just going to give you a summary. So back to that night at the darts. So basically, right, just correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, you're saying that Hearn was pissed, so he basically just threw your fight date just to shut you up, basically, for the night.
No. I was going to fight on March 28th. Right. But obviously, Josh Kelly's headlining, and we're in the same stable. So I think we want all the attention on Josh, because it's a massive fight. Him and David Bevvies is a massive fight. So Charlie and Adam and H don't need to worry about me going out first and come back, warming me up, me fighting, and then warming Josh up. Do you know what I mean? That night is about Josh. He's headlining for the first time. Huge show. That night should be about Josh, because he's earned his right to be in it. It's going to be a massive fight. And so that's why I'm not fighting that show. We was obviously told about the other ones. But now we know. Doncaster Dome, here we come.
Few days in Doncaster. What more do you want in life?
Listen, you could be going out to see Inoue Casemiro, or you could come to Doncaster Dome and watch me become 6-0, God willing. So, no, what I'd rather.
Courtenay, Casemiro, Inoue. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Where is the Inoue fight?
Mandalay Bay.
Oh, fuck Doncaster off!
Well, to be fair, I think I've only missed one of your fights, correct? Yes, I have missed one of your fights.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
They were bad times for me. I've explained to you anyway why I wasn't present at your fight.
I'm aware why you wasn't there. I've forgiven you. I wasn't happy. But you did buy me a new Range Rover at your £60 million to say sorry for it. So it's all right. I've forgiven you.
Do you know what? While we're here at Time for Diamonds, just pick whatever watch you want. Go on.
Pick that nice watch.
Stick it on Danny's tab.
Funnily enough, I got a new watch today actually, so...
Oh. It's nice little...
Nice little rolly.
Nice. Very nice. Very pretty.
Nah, do you know what, Time for Diamonds? Give them the biggest shout out. They look after me. I've got a nice diamond necklace today. They look after me so well. My last kit, the silver one, which looked amazing, they sorted it all out. They'll do my next kit as well. Honestly, they're so good. They look after me. And listen, you've worked with them yourself. You've done business with jewellery with them, and you can't knock them. They are one of the best in the country.
Trustworthy. That's the word I can use to describe Time for Diamonds.
Trustworthy and loyal, which is a big thing in boxing. So it's nice to come across loyal, honest people.
Okay, well, have you got anything else you'd like to add? Obviously, you seem like you're always in camp. I don't really know a time where you're kind of out of camp and, going down Brighton seafront and having it.
Always down Brighton seafront, having it. No, obviously we know I've got a busy year coming up again. But I'm going to go on a holiday this year. Last year I had a couple of holidays booked, didn't go on them because of fighting. So this year I am going to go away in August. Because I need to. I need the sun. Can't keep sitting on sunbeds every day, do you know what I mean? Trying to top up the tan. So, but no, I like staying active. And I've said this to you many times. I've said it on TV many times. I am not coming to the table with a gold medal for the Olympics or a 100 amateur fight, so I need to stay active. I need to stay in camp. I need to stay busy. I need to stay learning because I'm not the most talented fighter in the world. And I'm the first to admit that, but I work harder than anyone. I give everything I've got, and I live by this sport. So if I'm in camp for 52 weeks of the year, so be it. If it means I'm going to become a better fighter and it helps me to be where I want to be, then so be it. It's all worth it, in my opinion.
It's a great attitude to have. Absolutely. All right, well, listen, Shannon, thank you very much for your time as always. And, we'll definitely catch up with you ahead of April the 24th, Doncaster Dome, live on Sky Sports.
Yeah, don't say the next fight.
No.
I thought you was going to say the next date then.
No. I don't know what it is anyway.
Bloody liar. We spoke on the phone yesterday.
All right, okay. I'm trying to say I didn't know, but now I'm going to tell him.
No, you're not. You know, let me tell you this. He knows things before anyone knows things. Trust me.
That's my job to know that.
You're like the British Mike Coppinger, you are. Sources. That is you.
No, I like Mike Coppinger, and Mike Coppinger is 99.9% accurate ratio.
He's great. You want to know something? Just check his Twitter, and you'll find things out. He's fantastic.
My source is the subject, so you're my source. So if you say to me you're fighting out of Mongolia on the 14th of whenever, then...
Oh, why have you told everyone? Now everyone knows about match in Mongolia.
Yeah. Eminem. Yeah, Eminem. Shannon, thank you very much, and we'll definitely catch up with you ahead of your next fight date in Doncaster. And I'm quite excited for that bill, actually. It's good to see kind of a different kind of bill with all you girls who run the world. You dick. Oh, God. All right, thank you very much, Shannon Courtenay.